I'm Timothy Zahn, author of Thrawn, and you're listening to the Escape Podcast. This episode was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Podcast.
Game crashes are finally being looked at by Capital Games.
A little bit of Crancor chatter has some guilds worried.
Conquest is about to come to a close. Where are we at?
We also dive into things CG has said this past week.
Yes, our Doja Digest has our interest for matchmaking.
And not just in GAC, Neil.
And a hint of when we might know more about the next content drop.
Thysk joins us for our incoming transmission.
We talk to the man with a cat and a fedora who has ruled the HotUtils for a while now.
And for those who enjoyed the animations for the YouTube and Twitch versions of Helly and the Noob, those are fixed this week.
Patreon's choice, all this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, The Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul. Paul, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, but Neil, just like 2 weeks ago, happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday to me tomorrow.
Well, yeah, tomorrow. And mine was 2 days beforehand and all that stuff when we did it. So, one of us will have a birthday on a show day next year. But nonetheless, thank you so much for joining us this week. I know that that we forgot to talk about something last week that you wanted to get. Speaking of things that we forgot to talk about, GA Center, our Tuesday/Wednesday show. Tuesday on regular weeks, Wednesday on the final week of the season. But you wanted to mention something last week, and it totally slipped my mind to throw it to you. So, throwing it to you now.
Yeah. We need some scouts. We need some sports reporters, basically. If you've ever watched a match or any kind of sporting event, that they all go on at the same time in a league, and usually channels have their reporters, their roving reporters out and about. I'm looking for a couple of roving reporters to take responsibility for literally going to a GAC match, watching it, and then giving us a report. So you'll get your name in the credits, and you'll get a limited access to the GACN server, which has got all of the competitors in, the production crew, the commission. So yeah, we're looking for a couple people. Must be committed. It won't actually require a huge amount of time. We would literally only need your time on show day. So it would be a case of around about midday on show day, you'd go into the reports, find out who hasn't submitted a report, and then go and grab a report on them. Whether you're grabbing it off SWGOH.gg or whether you're grabbing it from their stream, from the replay of their live stream, or if they don't stream but they record and then post with commentary. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody to come up with a report so that Ranger and I have 30 to 60 seconds of color commentary on all of our competitors, because ever since we started Season 2 and we increased the number of competitors that we cover in the league, it has been not a struggle, but every now and then SWGOH.gg has taken a little bit extra time to produce people's previous week, and when people don't do a report, that's where we get our data from. And as you can imagine, I've got 3 to 4 hours of pre-production to do for each of the show, and then writing a report, sometimes it cuts it a little bit fine. So if you're interested and you want to be a member of the production crew, you would answer to the moderator of the Galaxy, Toyota. He's our chief scout. So you'd have your own little, place on the server. So yeah, get in touch with us if you're interested in becoming part of the GA Center production team.
And there we go. A unique opportunity for all of our awesome listeners. So, all right. Well, since it's your birthday, Neil, what topic do you want to tackle first?
Whatever comes to mind. There's a couple things that we can talk about this week. Obviously, we've got the tail end Charlie regarding the Conquest.
Okay, let's start. Let's go ahead and start off.
We can start with Conquest. What we got left? There's like 2 days left.
Yeah, it's I believe it's 2.5 days left as of the recording of this. What we'll do is I'm happy to report that on my only account, I'm not an alt maniac like you are. On my account, I got the red box.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be getting the maximum amount of Razor Crest shards, as well as the 5 that were supposed to 4 or 5 that we're getting at the end, because there was supposed to be Razor Crest shards on a scavenger node.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't have the red box. On my main account, I only got as far as the tier 6 box. I'm just not in a position to be able to complete as many feats. So I kind of got to the end. Obviously, JML, defeated JML, and I did that a couple days ago. And I've just been going back through the sectors on my main account every single day, looking at, I only got 1 of 3 of that, or I only got 2 of 3 of that. Thanks for the biddies, Dr. Feelgood. So I've just been going over and trying to get those. I was trying to get the extra few just so that I could get over the tier 6 guild. Sorry, the tier 6 rewards, and I did that. So I kind of left that, and I'm working on the others now. My second alt account, I've only been able to do. I've only been able to get to sector 4, but I've let the stamina build up, so I should be able to make it in a sector 5 on that. The Pom-Pom-tastic account, though, the 3.7 mil account, and the baby account, the one that's only 2.6 mil GP, really struggled. Really struggling on them. Cannot get past Revan at the end of sector 3. Cannot get past him at all. Now, on my main and my main ults, I just blasted through that with my JKL squad. It's so much. But my main squads on those 2 accounts are JKR, Darth Revan, and CLS. I don't really have anything else powerful enough to be able to make it past the Darth Revan. So I know what I need to do, but those 2 lower accounts, they're both under 4 mil GP as well. So yeah, those ones cannot make it past sector 3. But if you've got JKL, you can definitely make it all the way to sector 5. So I very much enjoyed it.
So you've got you said you did finish it with 2, right?
Yeah. Well, I've finished it on my main. I haven't quite finished it on my main alt, which is.
But do you think you're going to?
Oh yeah, I will. I've already got past. I already made it past the sector 4 boss. I already made it past C. So I just need to go through the nodes, because that account is currently only at. It hasn't quite reached the tier 5. So I'm hoping that by the time I've got from the beginning to the end of sector 5, I'll be up around tier 6 rewards on that account.
Are you going to go for hard mode on the main, or are you going to stay in normal?
Oh no, I'm staying in normal. I'm staying in normal, and the reason why I'm staying in normal is because sector 1 is a theory crafter's dream. Sector 1 is a theory crafter's dream. Because they're all Gear 12, but they've got their modifiers. They've got their in-game modifiers, which makes them a little bit harder. So I think of it in terms of, so let's say it is Gear 12 Geos, right? I look at it and I think, okay, so with the modifier, it makes them a little bit tougher. It's like fighting Relic Geos or First Order, or, you know, so think of all of those factions with the modifier at Gear 12. It's almost like fighting a Relic. So I'm going to stick with the normal because you can remove all of your modifiers. You can unequip all of the data cards and test various different teams against various different factions. So that's one of the reasons why I like it. And all it's costing you is energy and stamina. But I've been doing that on my main. I have been playing with that on my main in Sector 1. After I've, you know, because I'm done. I've gone as far as I can. I'm not messing around with it anymore. So for the last, you know, every now and then I go in and test various different teams in Sector 1 because it's not perfectly like a sandbox, but it's not far off. So I've been using it to test team compositions for Grand Arena Championships.
So you are not, so even though the box 1 rewards on hard mode are just as good as the max box in normal mode, you are not going to go there. You're not in this for the rewards at all.
Yes, you'll get the first reward box if you complete every single feat of Sector 1 of hard. So if I don't get every single feat, let's say hypothetically, I can't get past that boss, right? If I don't get past the boss, I'm not going to get the necessary points needed to get that first box. And I don't want to waste 2 weeks going for that first crate and just coming up short because I can't complete all of the feats. Because you've got to complete all the feats to get that. Sector 1, you've got to complete them all, haven't you? Or do you not need to even get to the first boss?
I don't know. Because there might be different levels of stuff.
If I was a 7.5 million account, yeah, sure, I'd be going for hard. You know, if I had Loki's account, yeah, sure, I'd be going for hard. I don't know. I've got a 5 mil GP account on my main. I know I can get all the way to Sector 5. I can't beat the Sector 5 boss, but I'm going to get a lot more enjoyment out of Conquest if I've got 5 sectors to play around with and have fun with and go for data cards. I'm not going to have any fun in hard because best case scenario for me is I do Sector 1, maybe get stuck on Sector 2. And it's just going to be like over the top OP. So I'm probably going to stick around and have fun. I might try it on my main alt. So I'm going to keep my main account in normal. My main alt is like 4.6, 4.7 mil GP. It's got a JKL in it as well. So maybe I'll try that account. Maybe I'll leave my main in the... maybe I'll leave my... No, maybe I'll take my main to the hard and I'll leave my main alt in easy and just, you know, compare it out.
I was going to say, because I definitely want to see what hard's going to be like. Because if I at least get that first box, I am going to be happy.
Yeah, no, I'll split it and give it a try because the top 80 GP of both those accounts are actually the same. You know, they're both 1.7. My main alt is at 4.7 mil GP and my main is at 5 mil GP, but the top 80 is the same on both those accounts. So, and let's be honest, for Conquest, you're pretty much only going to be using your top 80 anyway because they're your best characters and they're your best factions, aren't they? So,
yeah. I'm going to take a moment really quick because a lot of people are joking about the fact that the territory battle officers are all gathering up for, in the chat right now. If you're in Yavin 4 and you haven't placed your platoons, you need to do that right now. Just a quick public service announcement to them.
Yeah, no, our guild's doing light side GOTB, and I when I saw it, I was like, oh, for God's sakes, do we have to? I hate it. I'd rather return to Hoth and get, all stars. It's more fun. A lot more fun. Although I did get to 2 of 4 on one of the CMs, which for me is a miracle because I don't normally get past 1 or 4. So yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. Oh man. One thing I did want to mention about Conquest though, Neil, is once people are able to tackle Conquest, the fact that they put the Razor Crest, as we've talked about in the past, is kind of a gift to newer players. That Razor Crest is really a good ship.
We don't know because we haven't tried it yet. We
Okay, on paper.
we are
How about I say on
anticipating.
paper, then?
We're anticipating a good ship. On paper, it looks pretty good. But the one thing you got to remember is, yeah, sure, it's going to have synergy with other bounty hunters, but there's no synergy with a capital ship. So whereas Empire ships have synergy amongst themselves and with their capital ship, the bounty hunter ships, they don't have a capital ship that they've got any synergy with. So the Mando, what the Mando lacks in synergy with a capital ship, I guess we're all hoping it makes up for in extra synergy with the with the other bounty hunter ships.
Well, okay. Let's go over the kit really quick again, just to explain why I think that this is a catch-up ship for people. It's going to be great for already established people, but its second unique, it ignores taunt.
Yeah.
It ignores taunt. It has a bounty hunter-like payout. Whenever, what is it? Where is it at? Forgive me for this. I'm trying to find the exact wording on it. But once it does something so many times, okay, the first time allies inflict breach 6 times while the Razor Crest is active. So it kind of brings its own contract when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And when breach is inflicted 6 times, which it can do, Xanadu Blood can do, Houndstooth can do, Razor Crest gains 50% extra damage. It gains, and all active bounty hunter allies gain extra offense, a quarter extra offense, 25 speed for the rest of the battle. Real quick, Malbloom, thank you very much for the follow. And a name that I love to see, Boss Livewire, the first person I ever talked to on Discord about SWGOH, has followed us. Thank you very much, Boss Livewire. Absolute pleasure to see you. Thank you so much. And also, that puts us at 956 followers on Twitch, Neil. You
Come on, 44. 44 more followers before my birthday ends tomorrow.
We'd love to see that. We
Yes.
really would. So
It's going to be a while
It
before
also
anybody gets the
stealths.
Razor Crest, though, unless they start selling them in packs as well.
okay, when it enters battle, when you call it as a reinforcement, it gains stealth for 2 turns, inflicts ability block, which can't be evaded or resisted. It can be dispelled, but it puts ability block on there. I mean, this thing, it's a 2 ability ship that brings its own contract. It's going to be a game changer. I'm calling it now.
Well, we shall see. Literally, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't think it's going to be as game changing as, say, for example, the Millennium Falcon. I don't think it's because the Millennium Falcon had synergy with Home One. So and that's why I'm hesitant to say it's going to be a game changing ship, because it does not have a capital ship to get extra synergy from. So I still think the bounty hunters are going to get absolutely mollywopped by malevolence fleets. I think they're just going to get chewed up and spat out by MILF fleets, and in the vacuum of space, they're going to be burnt to a crisp by Empire fleets. So yeah.
So my first order team can beat a negotiator. I think using Thrawn's ship as they recommend with the bounty hunters, it'll end up being a good counter to the malevolence. Calling ability block to stop the AoE bombs from Hyena Bomber is going to be good.
Yeah, my Hyena Bomber gets stunned all the time and I still win. So ability block, stun, still missing a turn. It's still going to come back afterwards. And you're forgetting that the Malevolence can cleanse it. So yeah, sure. An ability block on the Hyena Bomber, great. I'll just wait. Click. Cleansed. That's why I don't think it's going to be that effective against Malevolence. I don't think it's going to be. We'll wait and see. I just fear that they've put a good kit on a ship that has no synergy with a capital ship. That's my big fear.
So far.
I mean, they might, be nice if they, used. There are some bounty hunters out there with capital ships. I mean, Terric Booster from the extended universe had a bright red Star Destroyer. So they could always do that. They could always throw in a bounty hunter. There's Talon Card. He had a capital ship. He was a bounty hunter. So there are plenty of bounty hunters in Star Wars lore with capital ships that they could introduce into the game simply to give the bounty hunter faction a capital ship to work with. But when was the last time they just randomly threw a ship in that had absolutely no synergy with capital ships or synergy with anything really? I think the last time they did that was Carthanasi's ship, the Ebon Hawk. That was the last time we got just a random ship thrown in that doesn't have synergy with anything.
But I use that in my Malevolence.
Oh yeah, no.
Team.
I'm not saying it doesn't have its uses. It has a lot of uses because it's a decent ship. But what I mean is, it was a ship that they not cobbled it together. Obviously, they didn't cobble it together. They put it together well, and threw it into the game. But they threw that ship, a one-off ship, into the game, and it didn't have any synergy with any other ships or with a capital ship. And that's my concern with the Razor Crest, is that they've given it a great kit, but without that, without that top cover, and the extra bonuses and, the bonus mechanics that you get from the synergy between a faction, a capital ship. That's my only concern. But we'll wait and see. It depends how long it takes for somebody to get the damn thing unlocked. Because in the store, it says 145, but from the interview that was given to Operation Metaverse, they said that it activates at 2 stars. So we'll have to wait and see. Not to mention the fact that they forgot to put the shards, the purchasable shards from the Jawa nodes in Conquest. They forgot to put them there. But we did get notification on that everybody that's over level 85 is going to get X amount of Razor Crest shards because they forgot to put that in the game.
Bodhi is saying the Sith Fighter doesn't have much synergy.
Yep, no, Sith Fighter and the Sith Bomber, they both came out at the same time and they didn't have a capital ship to get synergized with. But they do have synergy with other fighters, with other Sith fighters. So they've got synergy with Maul, they've got synergy with Vader.
The Palpmobile.
They've got synergy with that. So at least those ships have synergy with the other ships. Maybe not necessarily the capital ship, but they've got, synergy with other, with other ships.
So you are going to try hard along with me. That's kind of what I've taken away from this.
Try what?
You're gonna try hard on Conquest.
Oh yeah, Conquest is an immensely enjoyable and entertaining mode. Like I said, it depends on what your account level's at as to how much fun you have on it.
Right.
And the RNG makes it either fun or not fun. If you're getting, like I said last week, if you get all the awesome data cards, you are having a whale of a time with Conquest. You are going to have an absolute blast. But if all you're getting are crap data cards, it's a struggle. You're like, oh, this team should be winning. Why is it not winning? And then you look at your data cards and you're like, crap. crap, stop giving me green and white ones. Give me some damn blue data cards, you know? That's what you want.
I went through the entire thing. I went through the entire normal node with white and green of the leader resolve or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I had that one, but I stopped using it. I swapped it out for, on my main account, I have 2 purples. So I've got 2 4 dots. One is the one when the leader attacks, everybody attacks at the same time. And I can't remember what the other one was. Booming Voice. So it's Booming Voice and another one that's really, really good. And then the 4 singles are deplorables. So, yeah, I'm getting 40%. You know, my turn's getting... Every time I get debuffs, it's like slap, 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 slap. It's just so much fun.
I don't know if you noticed last week in the interview, for those that were watching the video version, I started cracking up when Thysk said...
we didn't have Thysk on last week.
Not Thysk. Thysk is this week. When Fatal, the playbook... said C-3PO waves at people and they explode. I absolutely lost it when he said that, because I've had that happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there are some yeah. I had a lot of fun with it on my main. You know, the caustic one where you get damage over time and burn every time they take a turn. That's beautiful. And I also had the one on there where if they're less than 50% health, they instantly die. So that was a fun one as well. I
only got 1 purple.
Huh?
I only got 1 purple.
I had 3 purples, but I couldn't. Yeah, I mean, I could have equipped all 3 because you can have a maximum of 12. So I could have done that, but the purple ones were all based around something the leader, the character in the leader slot would do. So that's why. So I only had the 2. But then made it fast, and I tried the turn meter thing, because when you've got GMY, you know, I would just do a slap and everybody would attack that one. Slap, everyone would attack that one. I mean, when you're fighting Galactic Republic and your entire squad finishes with like the tiniest little bit of red, it's so funny. But they never take a turn. They never take a turn. So the Padme teams, the Cam teams, even the gas teams, they'd never take a turn, and I would just slap over and over and over and over and over again until they were all dead. And because using the ability can't kill you, it just removes equal damage. You know, every single time I'm fighting Galactic Republic, they're on, you know, on the red. But you know that doesn't matter because the energy and protection is replenished. That's one of the other aspects I like about the game so much. Is it's the stamina that goes down, the energy that goes down. But your squads are 100% refreshed and replenished from energy and health. Obviously, there's a reduction in the stats from the stamina. It goes from 100% to 90 to 80 to 70 and so on and so forth. But when you've got the right data cards, going in with a squad of 5 at 50% stamina, so they've only got half their stats, it still annihilates squads in Sectors 3 and Sectors 4. Maybe not so much Sector 5. I've not been able to win a battle with a squad that was less than 80% stamina in Sector 5. It took a lot longer to do Sector 5, but still, yes, very, very enjoyable mode. Kicks the arse of Galactic Challenges, put it that way. I didn't do Galactic Challenges on 2 of my accounts at all this week because I was having so much fun in Conquest.
All right. I'm going to open a can of worms here, just for anybody that's listening to this afterward. If you're watching on YouTube, comment down below. If you are listening on podcast, swing into our Discord server and tell us what you think, because Bodhi kind of opened a can of worms here that I think would be really interesting as we throw to break. What if they brought data discs to Grand Arena Championships?
No.
I kind of am interested in seeing what that would do. But we'll be back after these messages right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Podcast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to ShittyBill's Arena Tracking Bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
This week's Guild Classified is really special to me. This week is Yavin 4, the guild of me, Paul Anthony of the Escape Pod cast, and also the Llama. Yavin 4 can be classified as a serious yet casual guild. They still expect you to get your 600 every day, but they aren't going to micromanage your life to ensure that you do. Getting 18 stars with access to the cam shards in the light side territory battle, and 31 stars in dark side. The crew in Yavin 4 know how to play the game in order to squeeze out the best of its members without burning them out. That's not all though. Our guild is also completing the Challenge Rancor raid. Get those coveted arrow magnifiers with us. Yavin 4 is looking for players of at least 5.5 million who are cam shard ready with their 501st, are friendly, and want to find a place to become the best that they can be. Check out the Escape Pod recruiting link down below in the description, or I'm pretty sure that Helenix has already posted the quick command in chat. Come play alongside me and the Llama, and let's have some fun.
Hello, I am Andy Beeds, commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion.
And I'm Camp Director Flair of Gaming Embers.
We are the officers of the Chain Gang.
We're a collection of Twitch streamers that like to stream our Grand Arena Championship battles.
In Star Wars Galaxy Heroes,
We feature accounts of all sizes,
from the large accounts like Fruit Ninja Mike
to the small accounts like, well, mine.
We have grand arena action for all viewers.
With names like The Llama,
Ran B,
Dr. Zeppers,
Mr. Jigabachi,
Geek Girl 1980,
Rico,
Kate Gaming,
Flair,
Andy Beads,
and the Escape Podcast's own The Nev.
We bring you continuous game action every day during the attack phase.
Check us out and ride the raid chain from streamer to streamer with us.
The Chain Gang is proud feature of the Escape Pod Castaways.
See you on the chain, ya hosers.
The Escape Pod Cast.
And we're back. It's segment 2.
So
where were we?
Well, you were answering the question that I posed.
Yes.
Before we...
It would be putting data cards in Grand Arena Championships would be a disaster. It won't work. It's PvP, not PvE. Okay, it won't work. It just will not work. It will
But
destroy.
what if you could data card a defense?
No, it will destroy the mode. It will absolutely destroy it. There are already unfair advantages in GAC. Adding data cards to it would just make it so much more. It'd be like red stars. It'd be like red stars in Marvel Strike Force. Oh, I've got this character and it's got 6 red stars and nobody else gets it. And you can just put that character in any squad and it'll just destroy anything. You know, so if you got lucky and you got a data card that made a team so OP that you could apply it to a B team, and watch it smash through a galactic legend, people are going to turn off very, very quickly. Data cards in PvE, brilliant, great, fine. Bring data cards to territory battles if you want, for all I care. But when it comes to PvP, no. There's already RNG regarding mods, because some people have better mods than others. So mods is already RNG, enough RNG in Grand Arena Championships for most people that compete. And then you've got the algorithm. You know, you might have the same top 80, but they might have 1 mil 500k to 1 mil more GP than you, which means they've got more reserve teams to do mop-ups and stuff like. So you've got to hit it perfectly, and you've got nothing in reserve. They can afford to not hit you perfectly, and they've got, you know, a couple of 70, 80, 90k teams in reserve that aren't inside their top 80. So yeah, no data cards for GAC. It would destroy it. It would absolutely destroy it.
All right. Well, what else did I have listed here? The changes to the Crancor. Let's get into that. Let me bring up the Discord show prep room that we have, because I want to make sure that I get this in chronological order correctly. And so we were told last week that changes are coming. The Crancor will get angrier every 2%, but only for that battle. No more global increase. Let's see, that was... Oh, by the way, they also, you'll be happy about this, crashes are being investigated.
Crashes are being investigated. That means nothing. That means absolutely nothing to me. They were investigating why people weren't getting joined in GAC 2 years ago, and it's still happening. So them saying now, let's give it 2 years and then add on to the end of that 2 years a little bit of extra time, because they still haven't resolved the issue with the join not getting sent to the server. Despite the fact I have been told, if you do a double join, effectively join and enter, it resolves the server disconnect issue, because that's what's happening. You're hitting join. The join on your screen, yeah, it's telling you that you've joined, but the information isn't getting sent to the server. So if you don't double check and see, oh, join, and you know, and like it happened to me twice last week. Twice. So yeah. There are issues on the dev tracker that have been there for 2 years. So them saying that they're investigating something and actually producing a solution that resolves the issue are 2 completely different things. Sorry to be cynical on this, but all you've got to do is look at the dev tracker to see how many issues are on it that have yet to be resolved. Right. So yeah.
Well, we have, it was first Doja saying, somebody wrote, these changes will never affect a raid in progress. Doja clarified that it was somebody else saying that. Doja clarified, the original post stated there will be an announcement on the release date for the changes several days in advance in order to help guilds coordinate when to launch their raids. I spoke with some of the devs. They said once these changes are implemented, it will affect raids, even those in progress. Later, somebody said, expect some flack anytime there's been mistakes in platoons, etc., in a territory battle that's running. The party line, this was Dajello Salas, that said this. The party line has always been, we cannot change an event in progress. I understand that raids and TBs are not the same thing, but John Q. Former likely won't. To which Doja replied, it's extremely difficult / risky to change an event that's currently ongoing. Raids are different because a guild can launch one at any time. If there were a way around having it affect a raid in progress, I'm sure the devs would have made it happen, but apparently that's not possible in this situation.
It's not possible. It's not possible. When you're doing a live changeover, they'll be doing all of the scripting or everything independent. So they're not doing live changes to the script, to the game, on the servers that are actually live. They're doing it tangentially. They're doing it off. And then when they implement it, so when they do the live changeover, guilds may have activated something. They may have activated the guild. So, the new code, the new script can affect the game in unknown ways. But that is what happens with live changeovers. There's nothing you can do about it. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I did a live changeover on a Cisco switch once, and we informed everybody, please log off between this hour and this hour. We're going to be, doing a live changeover. We're integrating some new switches. We're going to be putting a new server in. Please, please, please do not log on between these 2 hours. What happened? 37 people logged on during that hour, and they lost all of the work that they were doing while we were doing the live changeover. And I had to go to every single person and say, well, we did ask you not to do it. We were doing a live changeover. So, yeah, the problem, we don't know what issues are going to be raised. But I think if people lose rewards or if raids get crashed, they'll have a log and they'll have a record of every single guild that had a raid ongoing at the time of the live changeover, and they'll simply give everybody rewards. They'll just, if the raid stops, they'll give everybody raid rewards.
Instead, I actually made a proposal. Sadly, it has not been replied to, but this was my proposal, and of course I put the Tepsi spin on this. I gave the proposal to Doja saying, you should fill everybody's extra crispy Crancor tickets to full when the change is made to allow us to try the new one right away, like we were able to launch the original recipe Crancor right away if we wanted to. If someone got hit by a bug when it changes, they don't suffer the loss of a round of Crancor. They end up being able to go in right away. I really think that is what they should do when this happens, when they change it over. Okay, hey guys, you've run your challenge Rancor raid. We've made the changes just so you don't lose any progress and you can try it out right away. Here's the tickets. Thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, tell us what you think. In chat, let us know what you think about that. Down in the comments or on our server when you listen to the show. Tell us. We'd love to hear from you guys. So, all right, let's take a look here. We talked about the Crancor changes, Conquest exhibition. Speaking of Doja, on the SWGOH events server, by the way, praise Sig Sig.
Praise Sig
on
Sig.
The server, we... Neil, you made me crack up there. Doja stops by. He swings by and talks with the community, which we love. We love the fact that Doja has been so forward-facing with the players. We talked last week how he kept capitalizing Bo. So a lot of people are thinking that it is, in fact, Bo-Katan, not Boca Raton or Boca Haram, but Bo-Katan. Inside joke there, Neil.
Boca Katan.
Bo-Katan.
Boca Katan.
Yeah, Bo-Katan.
Whatever.
Bo-Katan.
It's just Bo-Katan.
We theorized that she's coming to the game. Now, with what Doja said on the server, let me get the exact quote because we want to make sure that we are accurate in our quotes here. Doja originally said to a user by the name of Hello There, do you ever see oh, this was something different. It was, I appreciate that. In fact, the next one I could talk about is he was joking because he then hit the enter button. So it was like he got cut off. Later he says, oh, look at the time, I have to go. But next time, which he usually shows up on a weekly basis, next time I can finish whatever it was we were talking about. So that to me says next week we are getting a announcement of a new character.
It could just be another marquee. It could be a scout trooper. Because I still think that we're going to get. I still think it'll be Bo-Katan as a epic confrontation.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's gonna. I've been saying that. I've been saying it since the beginning of the year. Everybody's like, "What GLs are we getting?" It's like we're not getting any GLs this year. It's going to be epic confrontations. We're going to get 2 of them, just like we would get 2 GL events a year, which would be 4 characters. We're getting epic confrontation. It's as simple as that. That's what I think we're getting. But they need to throw in a couple more marquees in order to force people to wail on them and gear them up. So, like the Dark Trooper. I mean, the Dark Trooper is obviously going to be a character that you need as part of an epic confrontation. And then what they do is they throw a bunch of older characters in there that you might not necessarily have taken up to Relic.
Gar Saxon, ISC.
See, because it's an epic confrontation, hopefully it'll be an epic confrontation, not unlike the gas one, where you've got 4 stages, and they could do a couple of stages they could do a couple of stages from the Rebels and the Clone Wars era, and then a final stage from the Mandalorian era, because you got to remember that, we've got 3 eras. There are 3 shows that she's as a character that she is present on. She was there for Rebels, she was there for Clone Wars, and she was there for Clone Wars, then Rebels, then Mandalorian. So she's there she's there for 3 eras, and that's why I think it's going to be characters from those era. I mean, some of them people are already going to have them relicked up. I mean, there'd be General Kenobi in there, obviously, but most people have already got them. But they'll throw characters in there, and then the last one, the Mandalorian one, you're gonna need Bam, and you're gonna need Bam, and you're gonna need Armorer, and you're gonna need the I think to be perfectly honest with you, I think we'll get maybe 1 or 2 more marquees before a Bo-Katan. So I think we would probably get maybe Scout Trooper. I think if they want to make the last one good, I think if they want to make the last stage in order to get Bo-Katan, they need to do Fennec Shan as well as a marquee character, so that you can fight Moff Gideon in a final stage with Bam and with Cara Dune and with Fennec Shan and with the shiny new character that you're hoping to get, Bo-Katan. And that would be, stage 4 of an epic confrontation. I mean, I know I'm putting a lot of eggs in a basket, but, I've speculated this stuff before and I've not been far off. I said that I got the last 2 GLs right. I said it was going to be Luke Skywalker and either Vader or Palpatine. I just got the Luke Skywalker and the Palpatine from the wrong era. I still got the GLs right. I said it was going to be Luke and Vader. Luke and Vader and or Palpatine. I just got the era wrong.
So, by the way, thank you, Helenix, for the shiny nickels that you're throwing. Bodhi also says 1 marquee, 1 legendary dark side, and then an epic in June. That's his bet.
Yeah, I think I don't think the epic confrontation is going to come until May. I think the epic confrontation will come around the same time that Disney is releasing the Bad Batch, which is May the 4th. So I think we'll get the epic confrontation in May, not June. I think we'll get it a little bit before June, because there'll be more hype regarding that show, and they'll want to drag people to the game. I think that's when they'll drop the epic confrontation. So between now and then, a couple more marquees that you have to farm or whale out on in order to be ready for whatever epic confrontation match it is, because I will go for that on my main account. I will definitely go for that. I'd go for that. People say, why haven't you gone for gas yet? I can't be asked to go for gas. Plus, his Starfighter is still only at 6 stars. So.
All right. So the other thing that we wanted to talk about, that we teased in the open, is there may be a new balance coming to matchmaking. So I was saying earlier, hello there says, Doja, do you ever see CG trying to correct the territory war matchmaking algorithm to prevent severe mismatches that can look like sandbagging? Because in Yavin 4, territory wars is encouraged, but we don't make it mandatory.
Yeah, same with my guild. It's not mandatory.
And Doja replied, this is something I have definitely surfaced to them, and I think it'll get some love. I just don't know when. I've also raised the word surrounding GAC, and I think that would be more likely to get done first. Again, I don't know when.
Yeah. Well, I mean, territory wars popularity has waned considerably to a lot of people. Really, really has.
Oh my gosh, I just saw JJ Manners.
JJ Manners with a bunch of gifted subs.
Thank you, JJ.
But yeah, no, if they made territory wars interesting again, it would be cool. I mean, I think that they should just simply apply Grand Arena Championship rules to territory wars. So you can get extra banners for undersizeds and stuff like that. Yeah, and it can be a lot more interesting. The territory wars can be a lot more interesting because you could do solos and you could do duos if that's what you want to do. And I think it would make it more interesting and more competitive, because you'd stop seeing all of those. You'd stop seeing GL walls, because people would be like, well, screw it. Let's just keep all of our GLs so that we can, if we've got 80 GLs, that's 80 matches that we can pretty much solo to get higher banner scores. And people will go, all offensive. So, yeah, I mean, they need to do something. I think just doing a fix to stop the sandbagging issue isn't going to be enough to bring people back to really, really wanting to do territory war.
Thank you, Cascade, for the shiny nickel. Dr. Feelgood, 100 bits. If somebody does another 100 or a sub within, somebody else does another 100 or a sub, we will get a hype train going into this commercial break coming up in a moment.
Choo-choo. Choo.
Come on, let's get a hype train for Neil's birthday. That'd be a lot.
I'm just going to get myself a full bottle of bourbon. And I know you said you're going to stream tomorrow.
I'm going to stream from. We'll talk about that in the end, but I will be streaming before dinner, and then.
I wouldn't be doing it until the evening anyway.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be doing it until the evening anyway. I'd be doing I'd do it like I've always done it before. It'd be towards the end of the evening, because I'll be going out for dinner first, going for a birthday steak first, and then when I get back, then I'll come down and crack open some bevies and. Yeah, not lemmings though. Not lemmings. It won't be lemmings.
No lemmings tomorrow.
No lemmings. I might do some Super Mario Kart. We'll see how I feel. I've got RetroArch on Steam, so I really fancy doing some stuff on Steam. See what that comes up like. There's the hype train.
Hellenics with 20 shiny nickels, making it start a hype train. Thank you for that. So, let's go ahead, because we got Thysk coming up after this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what they can do during this commercial break. See if they can get this hype train going for a while here. And coming up after the break, we'll talk to one of the original streamers of this game who's still going and is still amazing, the one and only Thysk, right after these messages right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hello, Escape Podawans. It is the Llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Castaways are on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, you can catch us on YouTube and on Twitch every week streaming Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed, your favorite new Galaxy of Heroes show GA Center, and so much more. Come catch us on the web.
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer story time with the llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the Force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today, because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
The Escape Pod Cast for Kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Podawans, and welcome back. The Llama here. Now, Storytime is taking a quick break in between series, but I wanted to take a minute to talk about our upcoming series. Now, we've been doing Storytime for over a year, and I'm pretty sure I've covered every single aspect of the game. We've talked about territory battles, territory wars, and strategies. We talked about character events in Journey Through the Journey Guide. We've talked about every single table in the game with our Holotable Heroes series. And I wondered, what's next for Storytime? Well, I realized that while we covered all of these different aspects of the game and talked about the game in such an in-depth way, we've never actually talked about how to start a new account, how to play from scratch, strategies on what characters to farm, strategies on where to spend your resources. So in our new series, we're going to be doing just that. Starting next week, we're going to be kicking off Starter Strategies. We're going to be taking an in-depth look at how to start a new account, how to get on the right foot, and where to focus your energy, where to focus on those precious resources that you don't really have, especially in the beginning. Now, in this particular series, we're going to be focusing on a GAC-centric account. So all of the characters that we're farming, the decisions we're making as far as when to farm what character and where, are really going to be driving us towards having a successful Grand Arena. Now, some of you know that I've actually started an alt account myself called Little Llama, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm focusing on preparing myself for a good GAC-centered roster. And I'm doing it with the help of the new Bounty Honeys free-to-play farming guide, which I'll talk about and reference throughout the series. It was created by the famous Kate Gaming and myself, and we're really looking forward to being able to share it with all of you, both within Storytime and in its own dedicated video on YouTube. I'm really looking forward to this new series, and I hope, just like all of the other series we've covered so far, it's going to go a long way with helping new folks and people who might want to just start over be really, really successful in the game. That's all for me. Tune in next week for our regularly scheduled Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod Cast for Kids.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. Our guest for this week's incoming transmission is somebody we actually cover on GA Center. Paul, why don't you introduce our guest this week while I go get
Yes, we do. We do cover this individual. They are in my league, the Class AAA League of GA Center. They currently are rocking, I don't know how they did yesterday, but I assume they won, so I'll say a 17-5 record. And Neil goes
very
to
rarely get to wear my hat, but somebody else is wearing a hat, so I don't feel silly wearing my hat now.
All right. This individual is also one of the early streamers of the game. They've been playing since the beginning. We'll talk to them more about that. They love cats. They love hats. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Thysk. Thysk, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on here. I appreciate the opportunity.
So if you combined Neil and I right now, you take my beard and you take Neil's hat, all of a sudden we have Thysk.
Well, actually, I only have half of a beard today. It may be difficult to tell, but I actually have a monkey tail going on today. So on the stream, the beard actually, I normally just have a goatee. It doesn't. You can actually, if you look over here, it doesn't actually even grow in very thick. So I generally don't have the sides. I normally shave that off. But Kaiser Tiago asked me to grow a beard. He actually got some other people. I think he got Wolf as well. No, Wolf already had a beard. Someone else he had getting a beard as well. But the part of the deal was that I was going to shave it all off come middle of March. And but before I did that, I was going to have a monkey tail for a couple of days. So I was thinking about getting rid of the monkey tail before I came on here, but I figured, you know what, we're just going to leave it for the day. But tomorrow, it's all going to be gone. So Sunday during the stream, I'm going to have zero hair, eyebrows only.
So you'll end up looking like Neil.
Well, no, I'm going to have all my top of the head hair is also going to be gone. So I'm going to have no hair on my head except for eyebrows.
Oh my gosh. So let's talk about your account. How many accounts do you run?
I have 4. They 3 of them started in 2015. The last one started about 6 months later in June 2016.
Okay, let's talk about the main.
Mm-hmm.
Is the main free to play?
No, it's not. It started free to play. It was free to play for about the first 6 months until I started reaching first in arena, and then I decided to start spending a little bit on that account. I have 2 other accounts that are essentially free to play, but they've each spent $2. If you guys remember the Magma Trooper pack in the summer of 2016, I bought that $2 pack on each of those accounts, but they've spent nothing else. And then the last account has also spent.
Okay, so Neil, is that a punch or is that a tear?
It's a small punch, but it's so is the most recent one that's pure free to play? Is it?
No, it's not.
No.
That one has actually spent the most.
That one. Oh, that. All right. Okay.
What I did with that one was I was like, okay, I learned all my mistakes. I'm going to start this next account with, a rocket start, and I'm going to try to let that ride. Get a good start, get reaching top 10 in arena, and let's see how that'll.
Oh, so you built that one for Squad Arena, not for GAC.
Oh yeah, all these were started in 2016, right? So
so the most recent one was right. Okay, so the alts.
It was 6 months.
The alts were all in 2016, were they?
November 2015. The 2 relatively free to plays were in December of 2015, and then the last one was June of 2016.
And where do these all weigh?
Well, the June 2016 one is my largest by a little bit, so a little over 7 million. My original account is also over 7 million, and then the other 2 are around 6.
Which one are we covering, Neil? Do you know?
His main.
You're covering the first one.
Covering the first one, his main account. Yeah.
So, in this, in this building of an account, you said that you didn't want to make the same mistakes with the most recent one. What's your biggest regret of the original account?
Of the original account?
Yeah, since apparently you didn't want to make the same mistakes.
Well, I'm talking about mistakes like early things, like by spending crystals on chromiums, stuff like that. Not using crystals to get energy to level faster. That's all. There's no huge mistakes other than just burning some crystals early that should have gone into better resources.
So it was just a better resource management on the account that you started 8 months after the original one, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And obviously then I also could ignore farming things like ETH Koth and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it was more an efficient, more about efficiency, really. More efficient use of in-game crystal usage.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yes, it's not like I know what you're thinking, Paul. It's not like a 2 or a 3 year gap between a main and an alt, thinking, right, I know I do not need to farm these characters. I don't need these factions. I just need to farm for X, Y, and Z, because obviously with a 3 year gap, there are better factions now than there were 3 years ago. And you just wouldn't farm for them.
I mean, there was a little bit of that, but yeah, right. It was mostly about resources.
What are you thinking about Conquest so far?
Conquest is very time consuming for 4 accounts. That's what I'm thinking the most.
Yeah, no, I've got 4 accounts. I preach. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, exactly. Now, it is a very good mode. I think it's a win for CG, and they have not had a big win in a long time. And I think that majority of people are really enjoying it. It's something that can grow over time. They can add, as new characters come out, they're going to start showing up in the battles that you're going to have to face. So it will evolve. Right now we have, say, I don't know, 12 teams or something like that with variations among them that we see all the time. And as time goes on and they start releasing more and more characters, we'll see those characters becoming bosses or showing up in there. So I feel like it's a really good thing because people are going to enjoy the mode. People are going to enjoy the rewards. People will get tired of it eventually, just like territory battles. People used to like territory battles. I don't know if there's anyone who actually looks forward to territory battles these days. I'm sure there's some people out there, but it's going to be busy work eventually. But right now, and the fact that it does have a very good future in terms of how it can evolve, I think it's a good mode. I think it's a really good mode.
Yeah. So, just a follow on regarding Conquest, because all of your accounts are relatively close to each other. Did you have more fun on certain accounts than on other accounts? Because I have 4 accounts, and I had more fun on 2 of my accounts than the other 2 accounts because of data cards. Did you find that?
I did not, actually. As far as data cards are concerned, I got pretty much the same options. It took a little while to collect all the same options. But I got pretty much all the same options eventually on all the accounts. It's just what they got first. Like, did they get the deployable cooling system, which I call the cooking system? Did they get the buff, the getting turn meter or the offensive buffs or defensive buffs things early? But ultimately, they kind of all, I kind of made the same choices on all of them, and I had the opportunity to pick up the cards on all of them for the most part. I think one of them didn't get the when you get buffs, you get turn meter one for a really long time or something like that, or what?
Yeah,
but
no, the turn meter one. Yeah, for every buff you get, depending on what color it was 2.5, 3, 3.3, or 3.5.
Yeah,
so it was
like
white, green, blue, or the purple one. Never seen any of the purple ones, but I did have a couple of the blue ones, which were great. 3.5 turn meter for every buff. I mean, throw a Jedi team in there, and so much fun! So much fun with a JKR Jedi team.
Yeah, but I don't really feel like I had a much different experience, and I don't really feel like even my rosters made much of a difference either. The only thing was on the bigger accounts, I could lean on Galactic Legends a little bit more, which I actually valued the efficiency of being able to use Galactic Legends versus using regular characters more often. So I guess, contrary to what most people would probably expect, I probably had more fun on the bigger accounts just because I'm really just getting in there to get it done, not so much to play around with a whole bunch of different comps and stuff like that. So I liked being able to complete it faster.
Yeah, no, for me it was it was all about the data cards. Not getting particularly good data cards on 2 accounts, like seeing the same crappy data cards every single time. It's like, come on! It's like, I've got 3 deployables, 2 turn meters, and 2 green power, power ones. The 20% offense and 17% crit damage ones. So I had all of that on my main account. So I'm just flying through sectors 2 and 3 because I got all of that in sector 1. On my main account, I hit data card gold in sector 1. And on one of my other accounts, but on my 2 lower accounts, it was just crap, and it was a real struggle to get past the first boss, and then all of sector 2 was a stretch. It just, but the better the data cards, the more fun I was having, because it's like, oh, what can this data card do with this squad, and what can it do with this squad, and what can it, and I just had more fun with different squads.
I think I got the short end of the stick myself. The only purple I ever got was after I beat Sector 5. That was the only purple I saw.
Yeah,
and I even looked ahead each time.
2 of my accounts got purples. It was massively overpowered, and there was another one.
Booming voice.
One got one, but 2 of my accounts are in your boat, Paul, where they don't have any purples yet. Actually, I still have to finish Sector 5 on 2 accounts.
Yeah, no, I still got to finish Sector 5 on one of my accounts. I'm stuck on 3 of my 2 small accounts. I can't get past that Revan, because all I've got is Revans and CLS, and I just can't get past that Revan. I've got close using CLS, Chupio and Chewie, but because my Chupio is only gear 11, he's definitely getting relic before the next conquest, because he just gets chewed up and spat out. It's like, think you're gonna beat me with a gear 11, do you? Bang! And it's like, God's sakes.
Oh, and don't forget the extra attacks. So it's not just bang, it's bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, especially when it's up against Phoenix. It's like, I'm going to hit you. I hit you again. I hit you again. I hit you again. I hit you again. Not dead yet. I hit you again. It's just stop hitting me.
Yeah, I don't know how Ezra works. I think his 2 attacks on his initial attack each have a 25% chance to proc another 2 attacks.
Yeah, I've been flattened by him before, and it's like, son of a bitch. Because I'm fuming. I'm thinking to myself, thanks a lot. You just wasted 15 energy because now I have to go back in and do it again for 3 stars.
Yep.
So every time one character gets knocked out, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, that's 15 energy gone. Damn it.
It's only okay when you're actually going for the feats at the same time, because you might have to do it anyway.
I didn't mind it when I was throwing my Jawas in for the thermal detonators. It's like, I know they're all going to die, but I don't care because I'm going to get 20 thermal So 3 battles later, I have my 50 thermal detonators. Because I did try the Zam Wessel one, and they just all got destroyed. My bounty hunters just got absolutely destroyed. They just got wrecked.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that specific one on stream right before we ended the stream. I actually really liked using Unmasked Kylo and Wat Tambor to put tank tech on him, and then putting all the thermal detonator bounty hunters behind there. And they don't all have to survive the initial onslaught, but once you start getting going, they can kind of keep throwing out their thermal detonators, and Unmasked Kylo can just stun every turn. He doesn't have to do any damage, and Wat Tambor never does any damage. So I actually really like that versus the Jawas. Jawas felt too RNG to me.
Yeah, next time the next time that they put that feat in Galactic Challenges, I will specifically look at somewhere on that sector, and if I see Geos or a Mon Mothma team, I'm picking them specifically to just throw the Jawas against, so it's only one battle to get all 50 thermal detonators. That's what I'm going to be looking for. But obviously, you know, the next one they'll be changing it up, which I'm looking forward to because it's going to be completely different. They'll use more factions. For most of us. They'll use more factions, and they'll change up the feats. If they don't, it'd be stupid if they don't do it.
So let's talk about your streaming life, Thysk.
Sure.
You were one of the original streamers. You may not have started out streaming when the game came out, but you have been referred to as one of the original streamers of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. In fact, I think you started about the same time as Cubs and DB. I think those two came on the scene at the same time.
Probably well before Cubs. He was doing videos maybe.
Video, yeah. That's what I mean. Cubs was doing videos because his first video was Thrawn.
Yeah.
But you know, you are one of the OGs. What attracted you? Did you stream anything else before this? Or
I actually streamed WoW for a really long time.
Okay.
I haven't played WoW for 2 expansions now. I keep wanting to get back to it, but at this point I probably won't, missing 2 expansions. But yeah, I streamed WoW for a really long time, since Firelands. Which I don't remember the date on that, but I think it's something like 2014 or something like that. So it was natural once I started playing Galaxy of Heroes all the time, which realistically I did once I picked up the game in 2015. I was playing it every day. Like we talked about all those accounts. Pretty much all of those accounts have been played literally every day. One account missed like a month. One of those 2015 accounts missed like a month, but virtually every day since then. And of course we now all play them all every day. We have to, or you're missing out on something. But so it was a natural transition. Like, it's like, well, you know what? I'm doing this already. Maybe there's going to be some interest. Maybe there'll be someone interested in seeing these things. And first, when I first started out, I was just doing events. Like I did Thrawn. That was the first thing I ever streamed Galaxy of Heroes wise. It was the Thrawn event. I don't know if I did the whole thing or if I just did like the 6 and 7 stars. I think I did the whole thing. But that was the first thing I did, and then I would do other big events as they came out. One of the most disappointing streams of that period of time was, I don't know if you remember when they first introduced the cargo ship heist event. Like, they gave us a preview of it. They're like, this is coming in like several days or something like that. And I thought this was like some big event, so I streamed it, and it was done in like 12 minutes or something like that.
Didn't take that long.
It was not a big deal. But those are the events that I did. And then about 2 years ago, somewhere in the neighborhood, I don't remember the exact day, but I think it was sometime in early 2019, I started streaming pretty much every day. And at that time I was doing it like 4 days a week or something like that. Now it's more like 6.
Really quick, Geek Girl, thank you very much for the 500 bits. We appreciate that. So you obviously do Grand Arena. And Neil loves the fact that you can do Grand Arena and believes that it's the future of the game. I'm not too far from him, but I still think that there can be in the future possibly a good PvE mode that can be streamed just as well. What do you prefer to stream?
I think that right now Grand Arena makes the most sense to stream. So I guess you could say that I prefer to stream that, but realistically, I'm not a huge fan of, and this is going to come out wrong, but I play Grand Arena because I have to. I don't dislike Grand Arena. I think that one of the beauties of Grand Arena is that it has appeal for everyone, whether you like competitive modes or you like PvE type things. I feel like there's a lot of value for everyone because realistically, it's a PvP mode of PvE encounters, right? So it works out pretty well. But ultimately, I think it's certainly the most popular thing to stream. Streaming something like Territory Battles is just the same all the time, so it ends up being very, very meticulous and just repetitive. And I think that's what you're talking about, Paul, where Grand Arena is different. So there's a reason to stream it, and you're looking for a PvP type of a mode that has that dynamic capability that Grand Arena does, and that's why Grand Arena tends to be the most popular thing to stream. And in direct answer to your question, I do prefer to stream Grand Arena because you never know what's going to happen. In Territory Battles, if you stream Territory Battles, which I traditionally don't do, you might only get 3 waves, or you might get 4 waves, or whatever. But ultimately, it's the same thing as last month. So again, in direct answer to your question, Grand Arena is certainly the thing that I prefer to stream right now. Even Conquest, even though it is somewhat dynamic, isn't really the sort of thing that I think most people care about when they're tuning into a stream.
No, it's the flavor of the month. So you've got people streaming it because it's the flavor of the month.
Exactly.
You know what? Once everybody settles into, because obviously they're only going to run it once a month, so it's a two-week period every single month. We're only going to get one Conquest every single month, just like we get one GAC every month. I think once it's no longer the flavor of the month and people get back into the swing of it, it won't be streamed because people will kind of create a routine. Like you and I, we've got 4 accounts, so we have to micromanage our time so that we can spend an equal amount of time on each of the 4 accounts so that we can get them as far along. And it's not like, oh, right, I'm going to start now and finish now. You know, I'm going to do all of Sector 1 because it's just not possible. So some people might think, well, I've got a spare 30 minutes now. I'll just burn through all of my energy. And then you wait for it to build back up again. And then you right, okay, tomorrow, oh, you open it up. Yeah, I can burn through my energy now. Grand Arena, you can schedule it. And that's why I think Grand Arena is one of the most easily schedulable streams that a content creator can do for this game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, Paul, am I right about you expecting there to be some sort of a PvE mode that sort of has that sort of same dynamic capability that you get from Grand Arena, not knowing what you're going to face? And also have, like Nev said, the ability to sort of schedule it and have it in a defined period of time.
I would like to see that. Yeah.
And you think that CG could come up with something like that?
I think that they really could. I mean, you see a lot of people doing Blitz mode. Conquest is close to it, but it's not it. But you see Blitz mode in Marvel Strike Force, and people get lots of viewers from that. It would be a great thing for CG to put something out in that fashion that people could stream in a PvE mode and show off a roster, because then people would be like, oh, cool, I can play as, and maybe it'll be the reward for it. I can play as Hondo Onaka. I'm going to play this, I'd love to play this game. Oh, neat. Jedi Knight Luke, he's wearing the black, robes. I really want to play as him. And would get more people interested in the game rather than just seeing the same meta teams versus meta teams. Who knows? You might have a Tusken fanboy out there that you're using your Tusken Raider, and they're going to start playing the game.
Bringing up the two things you brought up there. One, I just want to have a very quick aside. Marvel Strike Force actually just recently announced that they are going to have basically skins. They call them costumes, I think. CG said they're most likely never going to do that. I still think that that's a mistake. I think that CG should have skins in this game. I know they're worried about the resources and stuff like that, but that is such a good moneymaker that does not affect power at all. I really do think that CG should at some point consider that. But the second thing you just mentioned about different comps, and that's really the Grand Arena's highest feature, I think. The fact that many of the content creators, not so much me, but many of the content creators, I guess you still see it, depends on your perspective. A lot of the content creators are coming up with these really unique, or finding these really unique and popularizing these counters that are just amazing. Like sometimes you just be completely amazed by being able to take out Darth Revan with whatever you can. And I do think that that's one of the best things about Grand Arena, which I think is something that you would really want to see in this PvE mode that you would like CG to come out with.
Very much so. We are getting close to the top of the hour here. What do you have coming up? Are you going to be streaming again tonight?
I will have a later stream tonight. We still have one more Grand Arena to do tonight. That will be in about 3 hours. And then today is Friday, so there's no stream tomorrow. Actually, that means we're going to be doing 2 Grand Arenas tonight. The other 2 Grand Arenas that I still have to do. I did 2 earlier today, and I need to do 2 tonight. Normally, I would stream one right before the close of the attack period, but I don't stream on Saturdays, and I'm certainly not going to be streaming tomorrow since I had some other plans. But if this was any other day other than the Friday-Saturday combo, I would also have a stream tomorrow, which has last-minute Grand Arena, as I call it. And then the next stream will be Sunday.
So how do people, if they haven't clicked down below and they just like to listen, or they don't pay attention to chat and they're just listening, how do people find you?
Well, it's Twitch. I mean, Twitch is where my bread and butter is. I don't really have a YouTube presence. I don't even do Twitter or anything. So it's just twitch.tv/Thysk, THYSK. And that's where I am. 6 days a week.
All right. Any final questions, thoughts, concerns, Neil?
See that?
Star Wars trivia.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to hit this sometime. Because obviously the Pictopia is fun, but I've done them all. Because we've both got the same Pictopia.
Yeah, the Pictopia is actually almost done. This is the number of cards left.
Oh, so you've not got that many left. That's all right, then.
Nope, we're almost done. And then we're going to be moving on to I actually do have Trivia Pursuit, which I believe is what you were showing there.
Yeah, no, I've got the Saga Edition. So it's 1 to 6.
I don't know which one I have. I actually don't even know where it is right now. But I also have some other things as well. I have a book that we've gone through before, which we might revisit, which has some really difficult questions. The nice thing is, once we get done with the Pictopia, the questions get much more difficult, which I think is going to be a benefit.
Oh God, yeah, no. I need to dig the DVD out because it's DVD as well, so there's going to be a boatload of questions on that. So I'm hoping I can rip all of the images. I'm hoping I can just rip all of the images from the disc, like data mine the disc, so I don't have to play the DVD.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Well, guys, if you are a video watcher, the correctly animated version of Helly and the Noob is coming up in just a moment. But when we return, Patreons, get your questions in because it will be Patreon's Choice on the Bridge coming up in just a moment. Thanks for sticking around. Thysk, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. And young Lando says goodbye.
All right. Stick around. We'll be right back on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes?
Yeah!
For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to ShittyBill's Arena Tracking Bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/theescapepod and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Noob?
Hello? I can
hear you.
But I don't see you.
Noob.
Huh? Is that
your voice?
I hear?
Newbie.
You know?
At this point,
we've turned the beginning dialogue of every episode
into a meme.
Where could that droid be?
Paul, I'm in
your ships.
Cargo hold. Where are you hiding?
I'm not hiding, newbie. I'm using the intercom. Your voice, on the other hand, is very muffled. I can barely hear you. Could you make sure the microphone isn't covered by anything?
Done. Can you
hear me
better now?
Much better. Now, what exactly are you doing in the cargo hold? You arrived almost a full 20 minutes ago, and you still haven't made your way up to the cockpit. Last communication we had, while you were piloting the Space Frogger, you said you'd meet us in the cockpit after docking. You were going on and on and on about TC-14 blasting heli, and the Swallow being lost, and no longer knowing your purpose, and something about a Spartan cover-up and...
Paul, I am...
not coming
up to the cockpit.
Oh, come on, newbie. Don't be like that. Neil and I were just messing with you when we asked if your Spartan conspiracy theory had anything to do with tzatziki sauce being added to gyros. We were just messing with you. Come on, droid.
Paul?
That's not
why I can't meet you in the cockpit.
Oh, okay. Well then, do you mind telling us exactly why you won't join us?
Because...
I'm stuck
in here. I couldn't head to the cockpit even if I wanted to.
Look, newbie, I know the cargo hold's a bit of a mess right now. I've been meaning to get it organized, but it isn't that bad. Just walk up to the circular hallway, try not stepping on anything fragile, enter the hallway, hang a right down the second corridor. I mean, you don't need directions, do you? It's not that big of a ship. And you've been here before. Did Ellie try fitting you with another restraining bolt?
Paul,
Don't need.
Directions. I know how to get to the cockpit.
Just fine.
Then what's the problem this time, noob?
I may have sort of accidentally, and totally not on purpose,
Lodged the Space Frogger.
into your cargo hold. I think,
She's stuck.
and now she won't budge. Unless I open the airlock and just let the vacuum of space suck her out in the void. Maybe I should try that.
How the hell did you get the entire space hopper jammed into our cargo hold?
Paul, I am a droid with a
Penchant for.
calamity. Do you
Honestly need.
a full explanation on how I accomplished this?
No, I don't.
I
Didn't think.
so.
You know, between your uncanny ability to cause mayhem and your comically calamitous nature, and Helly's constant tinkering with your circuitry, and his refusal to give you periodic memory wipes, I think we're gonna have to insist you download that new PKOS update.
Paul,
What are you talking about?
what OS update?
You didn't get the emergency alert message notifications? Neil and I both got multiple pings via email, text, even voicemail. It was sent out 3 weeks ago by the Imperial government. And we both aren't PK series droids, and we don't even carry any on board our ship. Well, until now, I guess. You know, come to think of it, everyone in the galaxy got notified. How come you didn't?
I have those notifications.
Turned off.
Holonymix always said those messages were annoying wastes of time and caused nothing but trouble.
Yeah, well, Helly isn't exactly what we would call a good galactic citizen, is he?
Paul,
Yes, newbie.
please,
Don't you ever.
speak ill of Holonymix. He was my friend and I don't care what they say about him. He had very good reasons for not trusting authority.
Yeah, well, this isn't Helly's ship, and he isn't here to help us weasel our way out of a space ticket if we get caught by the space cops with an unauthorized operating system running on a droid in our possession. And, unlike Helly's ship, we aren't always broadcasting sensor jammers and cloaking fields. The last thing we need is to have some part of the monolith decide that this ship needs to be shut down. Too many people depend on us, newbie. We cannot afford to be canceled.
But I
Don't want to.
perform the update.
I'm not telling you that you have to, newbie. I'm saying that if you want to hang out on the Fulcrum long term, then you absolutely must do it. I'm just not in the position to allow you to jeopardize the safety of my crew, my ship, the listeners and viewers of the show, our llama, the Jawa, that pygmy Wookiee guy we once had on, any aristocratic Ewoks that might stop by, Christie's artwork, my sci-fi memorabilia collection, the garbage disposal. No buts about it, mister. Plug into that terminal right in front of you, right next to the microphone, and space Google the phrase PK Series Update Number TC4 82396.
No.
You're acting like Helly more and more every time we speak, newbie. Just wait there a couple seconds. Let me see if Neil could talk some sense into you.
Hello, droid. How's your servo spinning, mate?
Not well, Neil. Your co-host Paul wants me to download and execute a mandatory operating system update sent out by the galactic government, and I really
Don't want to.
do this. I guess you're gonna tell me I have to as well, huh?
No.
Wait.
What?
I'm confused.
I'm a voluntarist noob. I believe all interactions between people should be voluntary.
But Paul said if I don't download and execute the update, then
I cannot.
stay aboard the Fulcrum.
Right.
Wait,
What?
I'm even more confused now.
Listen, noob. Part of being an independent, sentient being is making decisions yourself, and then living with the consequences of those decisions. As a voluntarist, I believe that all interactions should be voluntary, so there should be a choice. I don't believe in compelling you nor anyone else to do anything you don't want to do. But at the same time, if you want to be aboard Paul's ship, Paul says that droids on his ship must have fully updated operating systems, then you got to choose. Either A, comply with Paul's request, or B, leave the premises. There won't be any hard feelings. It doesn't mean you aren't our friend, nor that we don't absolutely adore you, but if Paul said your operating system must be fully updated in order to stay aboard, then you have a choice to make. As with most things in the universe, noob, the choice is ultimately yours. But your choice will have some ramifications. You got to choose the path you want to follow.
I understand, Neil.
Great. Now, I'm going to get back to analysing the latest GAC matchups for that other wonderful SWGOH show, a GA Centre to tar. For now, my mechanical friend.
Goodbye, Neil. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I?
Wait.
Why am I talking to myself? Maybe I should do this update. Droids don't talk to themselves. But Lennox used to talk to himself all the time. And he wasn't all that bad for a
Bipedal, hairless, ape creature.
I know. I'll save a backup of my entire system. Operating system, image files, system protocols, pointless sci-fi trivia, everything, and store it here. This way if something goes wrong, I have a backup I can restore myself too. Well, here goes.
Nothing. System reboot finalized. All operating systems now fully updated. New mission parameters enabled. Primary mission objective: seek and destroy the salty Spartan. Hellenics must be cancelled. Heli no bueno. All hail the monolith. All hail TC-14.
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
And we're back, ladies and gents. Oh, there was a notification that had flashed up there. I think that was the raid.
Yes.
From Fruit Ninja Mike, wasn't it?
That was the raid from Fruit Ninja Mike. 14 people joining the show in the last segment. Thank you very much. Also, great job on the redo Hellenics and the animations on that. This month's episode of Helly and the Noob is amazing. And some great voice acting there, don't you say yourself, Neil?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Yep. So, all right, let's once again thank you, Thysk, for stopping by. That was a great interview. And thank you to all the new followers. Hell's Damned also followed us a moment ago. We are at 957, 43 more to go to 1,000 in the next 24 hours. For your birthday.
Yes, must be. Must be before my birthday ends tomorrow.
So, all right. Thysk rated FNM before he rated us. So that's how it goes. That's amazing. All right. So, let's talk about what we have coming up here, and then we'll get to Patreon's choice.
Okie dokie.
So, tomorrow, we did the Creator Cup with Vasari Games. Vasari has since gone over to Facebook Gaming. But here on Twitch, I'm here. After I get off work tomorrow, I am going to simulcast with Vasari. Vasari will be on his channel on Facebook. I will be here. We are going to be doing Call of Duty Zombies, because we love the zombie mode. But the main event, I'm just the warm-up on the channel, because the main event is going to be your birthday stream, and you are not going to be playing Lemmings.
No. I'm going to get, hopefully I'm going to get drunk and play some Super Mario Kart.
So drunk Mario Kart driving.
Mario Kart. Basically, it'll be the easiest game for me to load up on Steam using RetroArch. So I'm just going to load up RetroArch, see what I've got, and yeah, it's going to be something using Steam playing RetroArch. So, but yeah, so some Super Mario Kart, old school Super Mario Kart, Super Nintendo Super Mario Kart, not the Nintendo 64. It's going to be OG Super Mario Kart. See if I've still got the skills. I want to see if I've still got the skills.
Well, tomorrow you're going to be doing that as I head out, and I want to preemptively thank one of our Patreons who is visiting here in Houston. I'll be taking one of our Patreons, D, who's also on the Patreon leaderboard of GA Center. I'll be taking them to my favorite wing restaurant. So we'll be doing that, and I may join you during your stream that evening. If we can get the game to match up, we will absolutely have to face off in the balloon battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to give it a try sometime, definitely.
All right. Let's get on to Patreon's choice. Geek Girl always has some good questions for us. Geek Girl asks, if you had a chance to write a book or comic book for a fandom that you love, what would it be?
I wrote a I wrote out a basic plot line for I did write a plot for an episode of Star Wars. I emailed it to myself because it was my fan theory of where the movie was going to go, and then it didn't go anywhere near it. So, yeah. So
you'd like to write a Star Wars book?
Yeah. I'd very much like to write. I'd like to do some Star Wars fan fiction.
If you did it, I have a kind of a lead off on that. If you did that, would you, if it was offered to you, would you be willing to make sure that you wrote within new canon?
No.
All right.
Simple answer.
All right. For me, it would be the Fallout.
It's in this era, but it takes from the old canon.
My answer would be the Fallout franchise. I would love to see and help on a Fallout comic book.
Mm-hmm.
And I would want it to be basically a group trying to take down the Brotherhood of Steel. I think that would be great. So, but my second answer would be, as Hellenix says in chat, I would write a Hellion Noob comic book as well. All right. If you could take a popular hero and make them into an anti-hero or villain, who would it be?
Probably. No, he's already here.
For me,
I'd probably take Batman. Actually, I think Batman would make a good villain.
Well, they have done that.
Yeah,
they have done that. I would like to see, and they're saying popular hero. They didn't say literature. I would like to see a true villainous Commander Shepard from Mass Effect.
Okay. I don't know the character, so I have no frame of reference. I've never played that game before, so I don't know any of the characters in the game.
Shepard, and this is my favorite podcast on the Citadel. Mass Effect fans will get that joke. What about the other way? Take a villain and turn them into a hero. Instant answer from me, Two-Face. Make him an anti-hero / hero.
Okay, Yoda. Make Yoda a Sith.
No. This is the other way. Take a villain and turn them into a good guy.
Oh, right. A villain into a good guy. Okay. A villain into a good guy. That's an interesting one, that. Oh, I can't think of one off the top of my head that isn't just like boring and dull and cliche.
Well, you think about
although
that.
Saying that, they did the Star Wars Infinites did do Vader. But it was really weird seeing him in white instead of black. That was just freaky. White leather, it just does not look good on Darth Vader. Sorry, Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker in white leather didn't work. It didn't work. It was not fun to see him go to the light side at the end of the comic book, but why they had to draw him in white leather was just, it's like, you could have picked a more, pastel color, go for blue or something. Yeah. So there you go, Vader. Next question.
What's your favorite non-super popular sci-fi / fantasy show?
Probably Red Dwarf.
I was gonna guess you were gonna say Red Dwarf
because it's a very, very cult. It's got a cult following. It doesn't have like millions and millions of people following and watching it all over the world. It's a very, very niche. Yeah, so definitely that.
Would it be wrong for me to say bring back Star Trek Enterprise with Captain Archer? I liked Enterprise.
Yeah, no. It was all right. Enterprise was one of those ones that was very slow to get going. I wasn't the biggest fan of season 1. But then again, I wasn't the biggest fan of season 1 of Parks and Rec. I mean, season 1 of Parks and Rec, you can just take it out. Just everybody that I recommend Parks and Rec to us, like, don't start on season 1. It's crap. Just go straight to season 2. Suppose you could do a similar thing. You could probably do that with you could probably do that and get the season 1 recap before you started season 2. Because I didn't like season 1 of Enterprise at all. But by the time it got to the 4th season and it was getting towards the end of the 4th season, I was like, I cannot believe Kurtzman is gonna which is why Alex Kurtzman should not be in charge of Star Trek, and thank God he isn't right now.
All right. And our last question here for the night. Dickie Darkside asks, you can have a sequel to Solo or a sequel to Basketball. Which one would it be? Basketball. Even though I would love to see Crimson Dawn more in live action.
Yeah.
Basketball.
I would rather have something that I'm supposed to laugh at than something I'm not supposed to laugh at. So I just don't. I don't know if there's anybody I would trust to do a Solo sequel. I really, really don't. Yeah. No, no, just no. They didn't bother with source material for the first one, so I have no reason to believe that a director or a writer would use source material for a sequel. It would just be a continuation of that and that. Ron Howard's a great director, but yeah, that was one of his misses. Everybody has hits and misses, and that was one of his misses. Okay, next.
No, that is it.
All right. Oh, cool.
That is it. I am now taking a look here, seeing. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Brick Hardmeat of Galaxy of Bureaus is currently doing his GAC. So we're going to go right into him as soon as we push the button here. But anything else other than, me asking people to stop out and say hi to you tomorrow for your birthday? Is there anything else you want to say, Neil?
No, I'm good. Just tip your waiters.
All right. With that, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're a Patreon, we'll see you in the after show. If you're not, become a Patreon. See some wonderful stuff behind the scenes, especially some extended universe Hellion the Noob Patreon exclusives. And make sure you tune into GA Center. This one will be Wednesday night, right?
Yeah. End of the month, so it's Wednesday.
So the end of the month, tune into GA Center this coming week and enjoy Neil along with Ranger from Reality Skewed Gamers. We would love to see you guys out live for that. That being said, be nice to each other, damn it. We'll see you next time right here on the Escape Podcast. Neil?
Yep.
Push the button.
You got it. Ta-ta, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuit. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.